What up, fam? This is Chief X, the God Best, reincarnated with some of this common sense science. So check it out. Title: Farrakhan had nothing to do with the murder of Malcolm X. At all. Let me explain. Because a lot of you guys get confused and listen to bad rumors, listen to newbies, listen to young Pharaoh spit that bullshit and a bunch of other ignorant fools. He had nothing to do with the killing of Malcolm X. Let me explain. Farrakhan, at that time, was not calling no shots. At all. He wasn't with the hierarchy of shot callers and family members. He was a new minister of a mosque in Boston. A young man. He made no rules. And he only carried weight at his mosque in Boston because he's the minister of it. Okay? Malcolm X was not his personal teacher. It's like everybody saying Dr. Ben is their teacher because they listened to him and he was a leader in a sense and a master teacher. So everybody listened to him, calls him a student. It's not like they had personal one-on-ones. Malcolm X and Elijah, I'm sorry. Malcolm X and Farrakhan wasn't kicking it. They didn't hang out. That's why you may see a picture or two with Farrakhan and next to Malcolm somewhere in the background or on the side. They didn't hang out. They weren't friends. They didn't kick it. Malcolm barely knew the damn man. Okay? Farrakhan did what he said and admitted he did. He helped create the environment and drama that stirred up all the drama and hate that got Malcolm X assassinated and killed. Just like every other minister of every other mosque in the United States of America. People, Farrakhan was a student. Like they just was cool and had one-on-ones and would chit-chat and had a phone conversation. I doubt they ever had a phone conversation. They may have had a phone conversation because it was a minister, but they wasn't kicking it. All the ministers at that time were spitting fire. You don't know them for reasons I'm about to get into. Okay? Every minister and everybody was creating drama and talking shit and spitting fire on Malcolm and mad and shit. It's like, Elijah was their leader. Founder of the nation, basically. Okay? They had allegiance to their leader, Elijah Muhammad. Anybody in their mind who's defecting and causing drama and spitting fire on their leader, they gonna spit fire back and was pissed. That's what they were all doing. You only know of Farrakhan spitting fire because Farrakhan is the leader and head of the Nation of Islam today. Okay? This is what happens. Elijah Muhammad dies in 1973. There was no Nation of Islam for 2 whole years. Elijah died in 73. The Nation of Islam members disbanded. Half of them went to Orthodox Islam and embraced total Quranic Islam. They embraced the Nation of Islam version of Islam. They embraced Orthodox Islam. They defected and left and moved on. A lot of them followed Wallace Muhammad, the son of Elijah Muhammad, and he was teaching Orthodox Islam. That's where they went. There was no Nation of Islam for 2 years. 73, Elijah Muhammad died. Then in 1975, Minister Louis Farrakhan revamped it and got the Nation of Islam rolling again on his own volition. Not because somebody gave him the helm and told him to do this. He jumped it off because he has a gift for gab and he has people who will listen to him and follow him. And he began in 1975, he re-jumped off the Nation of Islam and began to teach and preach the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, later changing up a little bit. But he jumped it off and started again. And I believe 1980, Dr. Khalid Muhammad began to help him set up mosques around the United States. Dr. Khalid Muhammad set up and established the mosque number 27 in Los Angeles, where I live. He jumped that off. He was a helper of Farrakhan. I think it began in 1979. I'm not positive, but maybe 1980, 1979. There was no Nation of Islam from 73 to 75 until Minister Louis Farrakhan restarted it. So since he restarted it, and he's the face of the movement, he's the leader of the movement, he's all on TV, he's all on Front Street, in the media, everywhere. So that's all people know. So when people want to blame a minister, they only left to look at Louis Farrakhan because they didn't know any other ministers. You guys don't know nothing about that shit. You weren't around that time. All you guys do is spread bad rumors. You ain't really studied the history of the Nation of Islam. I have. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. You see these? You can't buy these nowhere except from one person who produces them. Shabazz. I got them. You can't go to no store, no bookstore, or nowhere and get none of these DVDs on the history of the Nation of Islam, on the assassination of Malcolm X. I got them and watched them all. Y'all don't know shit. You can't get these nowhere. I know all the information. You ain't seen these? You ain't seen these? You're lacking. When I tell you something, believe it. You ain't seen none of this. You ain't seen none of these. Fuck out of here. Farrakhan wasn't even near the Autobahn ballroom. He wasn't even in a state, I don't believe, at that time. He didn't pull no trigger. He wasn't even in the state. So all the minister created an atmosphere of hate, like Farrakhan said. Now, I'm not saying he's just completely guiltless of talking shit, but he had nothing to do with the murder. He wasn't a shot caller. He was just a new young buck who joined the Nation of Islam and eventually became minister because he had a gift of gab. He was a great speaker. Okay? So people need to stop saying that Farrakhan has something to do with the death of Malcolm X, which he didn't. If Farrakhan is guilty in having something to do with it, so is every other minister of all the mosques in the 60s. They was all spitting fire. They was all spitting fire. You don't know because they not the face of the nation today and you ain't digging up their history. They all were spitting fire and pissed off. You know how the homies get, oh, this nigga defecting, oh, this nigga out here snitching, oh yeah, we're gonna get this nigga. And all of them was spitting fire, not just Farrakhan. But you just don't see the videos of the other people because these other people are not famous like Farrakhan. Okay? So I just wanted to break down that understanding for a lot of people who don't get it, who listening to bad rumors, who's never studied the history of the Nation of Islam. Besides these, a lot of these DVDs, I've had drawers, shit full of drawers, full of just about every lecture Minister Louis Farrakhan has made that has been on tape. I've seen them all. I know exactly what he said and what he hasn't said. I know where he's been and where he hasn't been. I know the time frames of when he was a minister of the mosque in Boston and when he wasn't a minister of the Boston mosque. He wasn't a shot caller. He wasn't with the elite. He made minister, yes. Then he jumped it off again in 1975. All of them was spitting fire. Peace.